Hi, and thanks for tuning in to the Fashionista Life, brought to you by True Fashionistas. I'm your host, Jennifer Johnson, and today we welcome in Holly Strickland. Hello, Holly.
Hello.
And she is with Burn Boot Camp here in Naples. Woohoo!
Yes.
And she has built up such an amazing community. We were talking before the show.
I mean, it's been a journey. It is so cool to see how these women help each other.
And how long has Burn Boot Camp been open here?
7 years.
Awesome.
So, yep, 2015. Yep.
And that was a great one, by the way. If you guys haven't had a chance to go and listen to that one, you need to.
Yes.
We were talking about, habits and what are the 5 ways that you should,
just get started.
5 things you should start now. So go back and listen to that. But today we're talking about nutrition and sprinkling in some other things.
Yeah. So just a little background on myself. I have my bachelor's degree in sports and fitness. I have a minor in coaching, minor in fitness training. I've been a personal trainer for, I guess, over 15 years. So yeah, I've had some awesome experience just with helping people in nutrition. My overall philosophy is just long-term, a healthy lifestyle, whole food nutrition, and helping people to really understand it's not that hard. You just got to figure out what works for you. But I know we're going to go through my 5.
And don't overthink it.
Right? Don't overthink it.
We always overthink it.
Yes. Don't overthink it. So yeah, I am not a nutritionist. I'll just put that out there, right? I'm a personal trainer. But these are just what I've seen work best for, my clients over the years.
Yeah. I mean, what you've seen in all of your experience, because you've had a lot of experience.
Yes.
So, again, not a nutritionist, but we're going to talk about what you've seen and what you've seen work and maybe what doesn't.
Yeah. We can definitely talk about that. Okay. So keep it simple. That'd be my first step. I think that we overcomplicate nutrition. We're going keto, we're doing low carb and high carb and this and that. And I'm not saying that they won't work. Because they likely will work if you're 100% in, right? Anything will, anything that you're reducing your calories is going to work. But I would just say you don't necessarily have to give up everything to see results. And I'll talk about this as I go, but I truly believe in just making small changes.
So I don't need to just go all gluten-free or all sugar-free.
Yeah. I mean, I just think when you become too strict, you're going to fail. It's like just the unfortunate
crash diet.
Right. And then the yo-yo that you're just constantly going up and down. So
not sustainable.
You can't. Yeah.
I mean, I can attest to the keeping it simple kind of thing. I actually went on the Weight Watchers diet a few years back.
Which I do love, by the way. I think portion control, it's great.
It's amazing. And
I do love.
The crazy thing is, so Weight Watchers has this an app. There's an app for
that.
We were joking in the last segment. I'm like, is there like an app?
Yeah.
It's just like the magic
Everything
wand.
has an app nowadays. Yes.
But so you scan a label.
Yep.
And it tells you how many points it is.
Right.
And then you get so many points a day.
Right.
But it's really looking at one of the biggest things that it looks at is the sugar content.
Yeah.
And my favorite condiment is ketchup.
Oh gosh, so it has so much sugar.
Oh, it's horrible. Yep. It's
in everything.
It's crazy. But there's things that you don't even know.
Yes, it's hidden in everything. It truly is. And it's so bad for us.
It is. But I started simple and slow with it, dropped 14 pounds.
Wow.
Relatively quickly.
Yeah.
And, with just making
that
few simple changes.
Right.
I didn't rethink everything.
Right. Because if you do that, again, it's just not going to stick.
No, but then I had a cheat day too.
Oh, I have that on here. We're going to talk about cheat days.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I have that on here. Okay, so that is number 1. So keep it simple. Number 2, okay, so I'm taking this from Rachel Hollis. Drink your stupid water. Have you ever heard her say that?
No, but I know
it will stick with you. Girl,
right.
Wash your face.
Yeah, because my biggest. I'm looking at your
water
Defiance fuel over here, which is water. How do you drink more water? Because I hate drinking water. Does it count if I take Yeah, she's looking at me. She's gonna tell me no. I can see it. So I like to drink. It's a diet cranberry pomegranate juice, but I dilute half with water. Is that
so? I would see what the ingredients are. If you're gonna go that avenue, I'd rather see you do fruit in your water, and they have those little fancy fruit things, and you can.
I thought one because I thought I was cool,
and you didn't drink your water. Okay.
Didn't work.
Okay. Let's see. What are our next ideas for you? Okay. So I would say the gallon of water. So if you get the ones that have the little lines on it, so you can actually track what you're doing.
Because I'm competitive.
There you go. So, there you go. Oh, so make a competition with your team. There you go.
Who's got their water?
Who's drank their water?
I have to drink more.
I love it. So your goal every day is half your body weight in ounces.
Holy
half
cow.
your body weight. So if you,
oh my word.
So I weigh 140. So I'm trying to drink 70 ounces a day.
I have to drink 60. Everyone has to do the math. I did not just give away my, I have to do 50 ounces a day. There you go. Wow, that's a lot of water.
It is a lot of water, but water is so good for us.
I know it is.
It is so good for you. I mean,
it's a habit.
It's just one of those things. If you do that, you will see more results. I mean, it's just part of it.
See, I can't even, like, my kids grew up just drinking water. They've never had a soda a day in their life.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
They will not drink it, have never,
Dang, bro, that's awesome.
But me, I have to have, when I go out to eat, it's lemonade, but it's half water, half lemonade because it dilutes it and whatever.
So then what I would move to is just doing the water with lemon and just get extra lemon, you know, and then if anything, put stevia.
I make my own lemonade.
You're like, yeah, about that.
Can I have like 20 lemons with my water, please?
Yeah, exactly. Can I have a side of 3 lemons?
Side of 3 lemons and probably 20 of those little sugar packets you got over there.
They're like, we'll just make it for you.
We'll just make you lemonade. How about that?
Oh my goodness. I love it. So yeah, I mean, it's funny, but that little saying will stick in your brain. Just drink your stupid water. You got to get over our excuses. It's so helpful.
Again, excuses.
It's an excuse thing. Yeah. I mean, we make up excuses to try to drink all the other things other than water. And we know it's the best thing for us, right? What is it like? What percentage of our body is made up of water? It's insane.
A lot.
Yeah, it's insane.
I do know that.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So step 3, plan ahead. So, you know, we did talk about this that last podcast, but when it comes to food, you have to plan or else you're going to fail.
I completely agree with that.
And if you don't, it's like, oh, well, Chick-fil-A is right there. And I'm just going to go to Chick-fil-A because that's easier. Now, we're going to talk about that. You can eat, you know, decent options at these, you know, restaurants. But if you, so you know that your day looks like you're going to have Chick-fil-A for dinner. Fine. Now, you know, my lunch should be better, right?
Correct.
So my breakfast and my lunch should be better because I'm planning ahead. So we coach our members to log their food and how to do that. We use MyFitnessPal. It's a great tool. And I mean, we don't want them to do it forever and ever. We just want to know what you're eating. Like I always tell them, if you're eating a bag of Cheetos or Skittles, I want to know.
Right.
I can't help you change and find better options for yourself if you're not telling me what you're eating.
True.
So we go through that. So planning ahead is a huge, huge part. In terms of meal prep, like you'll see all these people like who will like prep all their food ahead of time.
On Sunday,
because it has to be done on Sunday or else it doesn't count, right?
Right, because Monday's coming. But then Monday, I'll wait till next. So
then we're back to the Monday thing.
Another excuse.
Right. So I actually don't like food that's prepped too long. Like I don't enjoy, like by Thursday, I'm like, I'm sick of eating chicken and sweet potatoes, right?
Oh gosh, yes.
So when it comes to that meal prep, for me, meal prepping is actually, I plan out what I want to eat, like the meals that I want to make, or my husband, because he actually cooks for me.
Oh, nice.
But I'll have the food in the house. That's my prep. So making sure that those healthy options are in the house, because if you have all this junk food in your fridge and your, you know, pantry, you're going to eat it. Right.
That's
so being super strong when you're going grocery shopping is another little tip. So
don't go hungry.
Do not go hungry. Yes. Do not go hungry. That's like the worst thing you can do. But perimeter shop that grocery store, right? So everything that is the healthiest for you is going to be around that grocery store. So we should have at least 80% of our cart from that outside and then only 20% on the inside.
Yeah. I laugh because I go to the grocery store and, you know, there's always something bad in my cart.
Well, yeah.
But it's kind of like walking up behind you at the grocery store as your trainer.
You're like, that's not for me. That's totally
it's
not
for my kids. Your children are, my kids are still at home.
I have a 4-year-old.
But wait a second. Didn't your kids graduate like 5 years ago?
I have no idea.
No, they're back home.
It's my husband.
It's not for me.
That's so funny, but so true. But it's just planning, right? I mean, that is the key when it comes to getting that nutrition. So
I used to have a planner.
Oh, you did?
Like I did a calendar. This is crazy. I don't anymore, but I did a calendar. So I knew exactly what I was eating every day of the week, because it not only made me eat healthier, but it lowered my grocery bill.
Oh, interesting.
Because I didn't buy unnecessary stuff. I knew exactly what I was going to make. And then we weren't going, oh, there's no food in the house. Oh, well, we have to You have to go, order something in or go out to eat.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
But it's one of those things of if you're not going to do it, like that's we were kind of talking about drastic, right? So if it's not simple and it's not something that fits in your lifestyle, it's not going to last.
Right.
So,
very true.
When it comes to eating out, this is a question we get asked all the time.
I bet.
The calories are so high. They are really high. Look at that menu before you go on date night. Have an idea what's on that menu. So, okay, I can order this, I can grill that instead of fry it. So you're planning ahead. And this is all in that same category. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you're prepared, be prepared, and then you know what you're up against.
Yep.
Totally. I love it.
Awesome.
We are actually going to head to a really quick commercial break right now. And after we're back, we're going to continue our conversation with Holly Strickland of Burn Boot Camp about nutrition and maybe some questions that you're always asked.
Yes.
The burning questions that you're always asked about fitness and or nutrition. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
Broke a couple minutes early, but that's okay.
I was wondering, I was like, should we go to the next one or not?
That's why I kind of broke there so that it would be a clean break to move into the next. All right, here we go. Thanks again for tuning in. You are listening to The Fashionista Life, brought to you by True Fashionistas. And I am your host, Jennifer Johnson. And we are back with Holly Strickland from Burn Boot Camp here in Naples. Hello. So we're going to continue our discussion about nutrition.
Awesome.
And no more excuses.
No more excuses. That's where it all comes down to, doesn't it?
That's kind of been the theme today.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting. So, all right. So we talked about keeping it simple, drinking your water, and planning ahead so far. So I'd say tip number 4 would just be finding healthy alternatives. If you really like pasta, finding a better alternative to the pasta. So, typically I'll have a spaghetti squash and my husband and son will have pasta. And, so it is like making one extra thing, but it's not like we're making a whole extra meal.
Right.
So if we're doing tacos, I'll do a taco salad and he has usually or else a healthier wrap, and then they do whatever they're going to do.
So I'd like to mention too, you are not, we talked about at the beginning, you're not a fitness expert, but this is all off of experience in the industry and things that you've learned along the way.
Exactly.
But my question is, because I know my own little experiment that I did with pasta. I love pasta.
Yes.
But you eat it and you feel so just after you eat it, right? I've tried the gluten-free option. And
better.
I didn't have any of that. Is that a healthier alternative by going gluten-free pasta, or is that only if you have a condition that requires gluten-free? I mean,
so some people just feel better not having gluten in their diet, and there's not really a rhyme or a reason. I would say obviously consult with your doctor about that. But something you can do if you're finding this often is to, again, like log your food and see when you feel that feeling. So does it happen after bread? Does it have, if it's a consistent thing that's happened, I would say that might be time to go see somebody and maybe get tested and see what's going on, because maybe your body is telling you something.
It's just interesting.
It typically will. Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, this gluten-free pasta. I don't even notice it. I didn't even notice the difference.
Correct. In terms of the calories, which we're, talking about like how, nutrition and all that kind of stuff. If you compare the backs of it, the ingredients are changing. But the calories, a lot of times, I think might even go up with gluten-free.
Oh, wow.
Again, it's going to depend on the product we're looking at, right? But so that's something to remember. Like a calorie is a calorie at the end of the day.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Unless they're vacation calories.
Then they don't count. No, they don't count at all. Those margaritas do not count. So like, you can do this with so many different things in terms of finding that sweet tooth option.
Oh, that's my thing.
So I found these protein mug cakes. I'm happy to send you a recipe.
What are they called?
A protein mug cake.
Okay.
So you basically take your coffee mug and there's like a little recipe and you do like some protein powders. They're high in protein, low in carbs, and it's a good thing to have at night. There are little chocolate chips on it.
And I need the recipe.
Yes, I'll get it for you.
Could we drop that in for our listeners?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Because I love chocolate.
Yes. And there's a lot of different recipes you can, find out there, but that one, it's good.
Oh,
it's a good little alternative. So, all right. So the number 5, I would say one bad meal is okay.
Like a week?
Well, I mean, so
or a day.
We're looking,
what are we talking about here?
I would say we're looking for like an 80-20 balance, somewhere in there. So keep this in mind. So if you're eating good Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday, you're just blowing it, you're never going to see the results you want. So this goes back to like why you started. Why do you want to have a healthier nutrition and healthier diet? So, remembering that like a cheat meal is okay, but don't let it turn into a cheat day. So if again, how we're talking, if you're going out to dinner, it's your anniversary, you're going to have cake. All right, then let's have
you can't not.
Right. You should have cake, eat the cake, have a better, whole entire day that day you go up to that dinner. So, don't feel like you're going to blow it, but just have that better day. So, just finding that balance. And again, if you are giving, if you're being too strict, it's hard to, just long-term, you're going to go back to your old ways. So those are 5 tips that I have.
So question.
Yeah.
Vitamins and supplements. How do they all fall in your opinion?
Yeah. So this would definitely fall a little bit out of my scope. I would say this is something to be consulting with your nutritionist or your doctor to get like exactly the right ones for you. Personally, I take a multivitamin, and I'm pretty simple about it. So I don't go crazy. I don't know. I do some little other stuff, but that's pretty.
Don't keep it simple. Again, you're not going to do it.
And I know when it comes to vitamins, that is 100% me.
But okay. So I remember working out at a gym, like I said, a long time ago, and they swore by this, they called it the pink drink. Okay. And it's like you drink it before you work out because it's supposed to give you energy. I mean, are things like that ever, or is it again too good to be true? Just hype, just whatever.
Yeah, I would say. I would say
water, right?
Yeah, in my opinion, yes. But we have a pre-workout at Burn. We have a drink that you can drink during your workout, and we have an after burn, which is your protein after. So we have 3 different products. I wholeheartedly believe in those products. They're very low in ingredients. They have very solid ingredients. The franchise has taken a lot of time to create these products. So I just think it is important to do the research on what you're putting in your body.
So the ones that you drink before, is that more like electrolytes to keep you going? Or
the electrolytes going to be during.
Oh, during.
So before it's has a little bit of caffeine. So it's made out of matcha tea.
Oh.
So it's just like a caffeine little booster.
Yeah. To keep you moving.
Awesome.
Oh, really that's good. Very cool. Yeah. So those are 5 awesome tips that will definitely help. So now let's talk about some of the questions. I'm sure you are always, it's like, it's kind of funny. You could be out somewhere and people, they know that you're a fitness, expert.
Yeah.
It's like being a doctor.
Yeah.
And they're, I've got this thing on my arm and you're in the middle of dinner, right?
You're like, call me.
Okay, call me. So some questions that you get asked a lot that maybe we can answer here, or some myths we can dispel other than,
Sure. And if you have anything for me, like throw them at me.
Yeah. Too. Like I don't have time.
Yeah.
I don't have time to work out. I'm too busy.
So it's an excuse. So if you feel you don't have time, I would really analyze what you're doing during your day. Look at your phone. See how many hours you're spending. Right. No. You're right. It's embarrassing. I mean, even I have it, right? Owning a business, and my husband, we're like, we got to be better about our phones because we're on them all the time, and it's an issue, right? So is there 30 minutes in there that you could maybe not be scrolling and focusing on yourself? So sometimes that hard truth it's hard to say.
It's hard to swallow.
It is. And it's true, but we all fall into it. It's no one's left out of this. I mean, how many times have I said I don't have time to work out, and I literally live in a gym.
You live in a gym.
Like literally. But it's about putting yourself first. So I would say if you feel you have to feel that you are worth it.
Self-care.
Yes. Self-care.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that was my one.
Okay.
Right now. I might come up with more.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. So the one I think about is, so I go into a gym, let's say I come to Burn.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't go, and not saying it's your, wherever I go, I have to be fit before I can actually come and work out.
Yeah. So, I can really speak to Burn on this, and I'm not sure I can speak to every fitness concept. But we really want to meet anybody where they're at. So it doesn't matter if you haven't worked out in 10 years, 20 years, or ever. My goal and the staff's goal is to meet you wherever you're at. So we're going to crawl, walk, run with you and get you to the point that you can do it. I think it's so intimidating. It's just scary. You feel like everyone's looking at you and they're not.
Yeah.
They're honestly more probably focused on themselves than anything. So I would say, you know, when it comes to starting, it's scary. But again, I can really speak to Burn on this. So I would say you just got to show up, because we're going to help you. We're going to pull you through the rest of it and get you on
95% of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Show up.
Just show up.
Because you're there. You're not going to just sit there and be a wallflower and watch everybody else do their thing.
And it's better than sitting around.
You're right. You're going to actually get in there and do something.
Yeah.
So I'm sure another thing that you hear is, oh my gosh, there's so many trendy diets out there. Like, what do I do? Like there's A, B, C, D, you know.
Yep.
What do you say to that when someone asks you that?
Yeah. I mean, again, go back to what you know works for you. Some people are just, I mean, we track macros. So macronutrients are your protein, carbs, and your fats. And we help give you like this certain balance of them. So at Burn, that's something that we do. And after we get your food logs, we start to look at that and say, okay, let's lower your carbohydrates. It's very common. Let's increase your protein and let's see where your fat's at. So we kind of just start to adjust that for them. But I think, you know, we can get, if you are a person, okay, now I was going with this. So for me personally, I'm actually somebody who's a lower protein and a higher carb.
Oh, I love that. I'm sure I'm not.
But it has to be like the right type of carbs, right? Like, it's not, we're talking like, exactly. So everybody's so different when it comes to this. So you have to find what works for you. I mean, my sister is a low carb person and it works for her. It just does. And I've also seen people who do the keto and do a great job, and they can make it a long-term lifestyle for them, eating the right types of healthy fats. So I think, you know, it goes back to there's going to be trends out there. It feels like there's always, this is the new thing. You should be doing this, right?
Totally.
You just got to do what works for you.
It's like in my world, fashion. There's always trends.
Yes.
And you know what?
They come back.
Not everybody should be wearing crop tops. It's the same kind of concept.
I love that.
Just because, you know, this 18-year-old is wearing a crop top, or that 18-year-old is doing this diet, does not mean that it's going to work for me at 47.
Right. But you are, you do look really good.
Oh,
just don't forget that.
Okay. I know how you're going to answer this question. Okay. But I have to ask it. How do I stay motivated in my own routine?
How do you stay motivated?
Yeah. How does anybody stay motivated? And I know the be all to end all is the why.
Yeah.
I know that.
It is. Setting yourself up for success. I would say that's probably the biggest thing. So don't tell yourself, I'm going to go 5 days a week. And then you feel like you failed and then you fall off and you're like, well, that didn't work for me. You got to give yourself time to get yourself into that routine and really dig your heels in. But you also have to put your big girl panties on and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this for myself. And this is why.
And it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy, but anything that's worth it
is not.
That's
You're
right.
so right about that.
That's right.
Totally agree with that.
Yes. So true.
Okay. And as we're closing out here, I have a couple really burning, pardon the pun there.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Burning questions. Come on, just tell me there's a magic pill. There's something magic. There's something magic. No, nothing.
If there were a magic pill, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. Okay. That's the reality, right?
I know. Yeah,
it is. I think that there are no shortcuts. You have to put in the work. And you just got to start somewhere. Don't feel like the stars are too high. Just start somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, I'd say really when it comes down to it, you just got to know, okay, if there were a magic pill, everybody would be taking that.
Right.
Everyone will be doing it.
You got to everyone would do it kind of
100%. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but
it's very true.
It's very true.
And then my last question is for you personally.
Yes.
I know I've introduced you before as the fittest fashionista that I know and one badass chick.
Oh, thank you, babe.
So how do you do it all? Because, you know, from me being a business owner myself, an entrepreneur, I know how difficult it is. You have kids. I have kids.
Yep.
How do you do it all? How do you keep it all together? How do you?
Yeah. So I don't. I don't. Okay. That is like the honest truth.
Picket fence, right? We all see. Yes.
Well, I mean, I wing it. That's like number one. I'm really good at wing. I'm a good wing woman. Well. But you know, you have to surround yourself with good people. That's what it comes down to. I think when you're good to others, they're good to you. My staff, they are phenomenal. I have the dream team. My husband is wonderful. He is an awesome supporter. He's supported me in this entire dream of mine. So he is a firefighter, which is really cool.
Very cool. And he loves to fish.
And he loves to fish and hunt and do all the things. But yeah, I mean, that and my mom's here. My mom and dad are here and my husband's parents are here. So we have an amazing support system with our family as well. So, and a great group of friends.
Awesome. Yeah. And I just can't sing your accolades enough. You are absolutely amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And again, guys, we are closing out our segment here, but we are with Holly Strickland with Burn Boot Camp here in Naples. Holly, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah.
If they're like, I really got to come check that out.
Yeah. So if you want to email me, my email's super easy. Holly@burnbootcamp.com. Social media, you can reach out to us, Burn Boot Camp Naples, and that'll be on Facebook or Instagram.
Awesome. And we will also drop those in the description box of our podcast so that everybody has that as well. And thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. We so appreciate it. We were listening to the Fashionista Life, and I'm your host, Jennifer Johnson. Until we see you again. Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.